Hello and welcome everyone. We have with us Mr. Ajit Agarkar, Chairman of Men's Selection Committee, and Mr. Sundar Das, Member of the Men's Selection Committee. Before we start the press conference, please put your phones on silent or on airplane mode. If you want to ask a question, please raise your hand, and if you have a follow-up question, please raise your hand again and we'll try and come back to you.
Shall I start? Everyone is good? Yes. Shubman Gill, captain. Rishabh Pant, wicket-keeper and vice-captain. Yashasvi Jaiswal. Rahul. Sudharsan. Abhimanyu Easwaran. Karun Nair. Nitish Reddy. Ravindra, Jadeja. Dhruv, Jurel, the second wicket keeper. Washington, Sundar. Shardul, Thakur. Jasprit, Bumrah. Mohd, Siraj. Prasidh, Krishna. Arshdeep Singh and Kuldeep Yadav. It's a 18-man squad.
We noted it down. Are we good to go? Yeah.
Can you read?
Who wants to go in first?
I will discuss other options also for the captaincy role apart from Shubman, and who will be your number 4 batsman for the current season?
I mean, look, obviously you discuss every option that's there. I think over the last year or so, we've looked at Shubman at various times. I think even when we played England last year, we take a lot of feedback sometimes from the dressing room as well. Obviously, he's very young, but we've seen the improvement, and I know it's T20 cricket for GT as well, but you take feedback from a lot of people, and we're hopeful that he's the guy who can. It's obviously going to be like it always is, a high pressure job, but we're hopeful that we've picked the right guy. I mean, he's a terrific player, and our best wishes to him. Number 4, I think Gigi and Shubman might probably take a call on that once they get there, so I don't want to sit here and give a batting order. But once they get there, I think they'll probably have a think about that or have a chat about it.
Just wanted to ask status update on Mohd Shardul, like what is his fitness like? Was he not fit for all 5 test matches? What's the workload he has had over the time period?
Yeah, I mean, he's been trying to get fit for the series, of course, but I think he's had a little bit of a setback over the last week or so, and he's got some MRIs done. And like you mentioned, I don't think he was going to be able to play 5 tests, and at the moment, I don't think his workload is where it needs to be. So it's just the medical guys who've told us that he's been ruled out of this series. It's unfortunately, we were hoping that he's available for some part of the series at least, but if he's not fit at the moment, it's very difficult to keep waiting. It's rather plan with the guys that are fit and available. So yeah, it's unfortunate. Bowler like him, you always want to try and pick, but at the moment he's not fit to be picked.
Yeah, just you said over the last year or so you've been looking at Shubman Gill as the captain, but how much easy was it, or was it difficult in looking at various options, especially in considering it was the England to 5 test series and you were putting a rookie into the captaincy role straight away for a hard tour of England? Somebody like the experience of Karun may have helped for this tour at least.
I mean, you don't pick captains for 1 tour or 2 tours. No? You want to try and invest in something that's going to help us going forward. You always, like I said, you are hoping that it's the right call that we made. We've seen some progress over the course of the last year or 2 with him. There's no doubt it is going to be as tough as it gets, doing a 5-match series in England. And maybe he'll have to learn on the job a little bit. But we are very confident with what he has to offer, and that's the reason we've picked him.
Ajit, was this the toughest selection committee for you ever since you took over as the chairman of selectors, considering the fact two of the legends have just retired? And did you expect that, or how was that retirement and that the kind of work they are leading? Was it so difficult to think about future and all that? Could you just elaborate on that?
Yeah, I mean, it's when guys like that retire, it's always going to be big holes to fill. I mean, Ashwin retired a few months back as well. So those three guys are, stalwarts of our cricket. It's always difficult. One way of looking at it is it's an opportunity for someone else. They've left a legacy behind. I mean, obviously I've had conversations with both of them over the last couple of months. Virat obviously reached out early April and said he wants to finish. I mean, we've seen him, sort of give 200% every ball that he plays, even when he's not batting or he's in the field. He probably felt that he had given everything that he had, and if he can't keep up to the standards that he set himself over the years and how good he's been, and maybe it was time for him. It's come from him. It's you've got to respect that. I mean, they've earned that respect, both of them, and and as all great players are, the one thing they are is they're true to themselves, and he was in that conversation. So you've got to respect that. I think we'll obviously miss. I mean, when you've got a guy who's played 123 test matches, 30 test hundreds, it's going to be tough to fill. It's an opportunity for someone else, but he's shown what needs to be done to succeed at this level. Needless to say, even Rohit, he's been a leader over the last couple of years since he started leading the test matches. It's a new cycle, so it's an opportunity to build something for us as well. But there's no doubt. I mean, that's why I think we've got to show them the respect that they've earned instead of speculating too many things. It's sometimes a personal call with players, and you've got to respect that. And like I said, their performances over the years have shown the amount of games that they've won for India. It's someone else's chance now, but there's no doubt we'll miss them. I mean, all three of them, and Shami really. He's again in Test cricket. He's been incredible. So 4 guys like that not being part of your squad is going to make it a little bit tougher, but it's an opportunity for other guys.
Hi, Ajit. What's the status of Bumrah? Is he fit for all the 5?
What's the status of Bumrah? Is he available for all the 5 games, or what's the workload transfer going forward?
I don't think he'll be available for all 5 tests. As far as, again, the physios and the doctors have told us, whether it's 4 or 3, I think we'll see how the series goes and how his body can take the workload. Needless to say, how important he is. So even if he's fit for whether it's 3 or 4 tests, I think he's going to win us a few test matches here. So we're just glad that he's fit, and that little setback that he had in Australia wasn't too bad, and he's back playing. We've seen, I know it's T20 cricket at the moment, but we've seen what he's doing in the IPL. So no, we're just happy that he's part of the squad.
Ajit, thanks for elaborating on the Kohli and Rohit bit and putting an end to all the difficulties. Very much regards to the Karun and the squad. How challenging was it to actually overlook someone like, or prefer Karun over someone like Sarkar, who was around but didn't get an opportunity in Australia? What sort of a signal does it send to the larger pool of players in the pipeline?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes you just have to make those decisions. I mean, Sarfaraz did play the 3 test matches in India. I know he got 100 in the first test, didn't get runs, missed out in Australia. Sometimes those are decisions which the team management takes. It's whether it's fair on somebody or unfair on someone. Those are the choices that you make in the best interest of the team. And at the moment, we felt, Karun obviously he's put heaps of runs over the last couple of seasons. He's played a little bit of Test cricket early in his career. Has played a bit of county cricket. We feel that he's batting well enough. Also with now Virat not there, clearly lacking a little bit of experience in that batting. Jaiswal touring for the first time to UK. I know Gill's played 1 test match. So it's basically KL and Pant who've played a series before. So We felt his experience could help. Sometimes it is always going to be unfair on somebody else, but eventually you've got to make choices.
Ajit, you do have two senior players in the squad, at least senior players. You have Karun, Bumrah, Karun, Jadeja. Were there any conversations, especially with Rahul as well as Bumrah, considering they have captained India in test matches before? And what were those conversations?
I mean, not really. Bums, because he led in Australia, he was the vice captain in Australia, but once he's not going to be available for all the test matches, I think he is more important to us as a player. We want him fit. There's always that extra burden when you're leading, you're managing 15, 16 other people. There's a lot that it takes out of you. We'd rather have him bowling as well as he does than putting that extra burden on him. He's aware of it. We've had a chat with him and he's okay with it. He knows where his body's at the moment, and he'd rather look after himself and be bowling fit. With KL, not really. I mean, basically he's captain a while back, at least when I wasn't there. So, but again, he's a quality player, and we hope that he has a big series because he's going to be an important player for us. So, but yeah, with Booms, I think it was more his workload management and having him fit as a bowler more than anything else.
Ajit, the selection committee has been very insistent that domestic players should play domestic cricket, and that the selection committee feels that the best performers have been rewarded with any kind of thing. I can give a few examples, but one sticks out distinctly is about Ricky Pui. He was the highest scorer of the season, then highest scorer in the Dilip Trophy, and he was picked for Iranian Trophy but was not played. And Dhruv Jurel was selected, who the world had seen. They can taken to Australia where he did not get a chance. Same with, of course, there are a couple of more examples I can give, but this is the thinking behind the best performer. It's a case of merit and performance, I'm saying.
I mean, look, these 8 tours are now just before the tour. So sometimes when you are 6 or 7 guys from your test squad are going to go on the 8 tour, it becomes difficult to then. Unfortunately, we can't take 50 people. Karun is a performer in Ranji Trophy, right? So he's part of that. There's a Jaiswal, there's a Dhruv Jurel, who's already part of that 18, who are going to be in the test team. So someone's bound to miss out. It was unfortunate. Even in Australia, when he went, I understand he didn't get a chance. But then KL Rahul went because he needed some game time before the test series. Yeah, but only 11 can play. So someone will have to sit out at some stage. I wish we could play 18, but we can't. Now, if you start picking on players through the history, there will be about 1 million players who missed out. It's not intentional that you are keeping somebody out. But you're trying to pick the best possible players for that particular game or that series that you want to. And someone's going to miss out, like I say. Now, if you keep picking on names, it is never going to be a conversation starter anywhere, because there'll always be, even when we pick 18, there's somebody who's missing out. Do those 18 guys who've been picked not deserve to be there? That's the question you need to answer.
Yeah, Ajit, the test match was the first week of January, and Kohli and Rohit retired about 4 months later. Do you think any selection committee will be comfortable with senior players taking calls, when you have got to select a team for a 5-test series? I think they had an idea that they're not going to be going this way. Do you think it that they're not going to be picked?
They were not going to be picked?
Yeah.
I don't know. You might know, because I don't. Because again, retirement, playing not.
With senior players taking calls, just before the team was going to be selected. The 4 months gap after the last test.
When somebody takes a call, is not up to me. Eventually, like I said, they reached out and I had a conversation with them. So whether somebody decides to retire or doesn't decide to retire, it's a personal call. Even if you're going to pick someone or not pick somebody, you're not going to ask that guy to retire. It's a personal call. And
you have been better positioned to form a team. The call had come much earlier.
I don't know whether it would have we would have been in a better position. It's, you're still, it's a new WTC cycle. So you're looking at all sorts of scenarios over the next 2 years. What is going to help build a team leading up to that, WTC final. So, look, I mean, again, it's a personal call. So when somebody calls it or doesn't call, it's not up to us. Yeah. Again, like I said, just all we need to do is show them a little bit more respect and move on. It's an opportunity for somebody else, and that's our job eventually to pick someone else when someone finishes. So, no, whether we would have been in a better position or not, it doesn't really matter. These two guys are big players were big players for us in Test cricket, and those are going to be big holes to fill. So at the moment, that is a bigger concern.
Just before we take the next question, request to photographers to not move around too much. Just station yourself at one position, please. Kundaji.
Ajit, what was the discussion behind between the left-arm pacer? I mean, Ashdeep is there, so do we get an advantage just because of that? That gives a little bit of variety as he's a left-arm.
Yeah, that and he's a quality bowler. I think he's had a little bit of taste of county cricket as well. Obviously plays every game that is available in domestic cricket. So we've watched him, tall guy again. Hopefully, with the Duke ball. Like you said, there's variety, but there's also a body of work in the red ball cricket, and he's been in decent form over the last couple of years. So, someone once they've played in those conditions know it well. The ball, it's just a quality bowler. There's no other reason here, and we've needed 5 seamers to go. I mean, obviously, Booms is unlikely to play all 5 Test matches, so you needed adequate cover. This provides us with a little bit of variety as well. So. No, he's more because he's a quality bowler.
Start taking last few questions.
अजित विजयसावी किती माझा खरं तर तू उत्तर दिलंस पण मला मराठीत जर उत्तर द्यायला असेल काय आव्हानं होती ही टीम निवडताना कारण खूप ट्रान्झिशन पाहायला मिळत आहे आणि गिल हा एकच ऑप्शन होता का या निवडीसाठी करणार
I mean, honestly, आम्ही युनॅनिमस होतो त्या डिसिजनवर. एकच ऑप्शन, सगळे ऑप्शन्स तुम्ही बघता की यू स्टिल लुक ॲट ऑल ऑफ पॉसिबल ऑप्शन्स की आहेत का दुसरे कॅन्डिडेट्स, कारण इट्स अ बिग जॉब, इट्स अ बिग ट्रान्झिशन, 2 of your big players retiring. So, but we are all confident that he's the guy to take us forward, and hopefully in time that proves it. So, no, I think he's a terrific player, and like I said, we're all very hopeful.
Hi, Shubman wasn't in 2 of Tests because in Australia tour. His batting has been kind of up and down. Does the captaincy add to his workload? How do you kind of have that conversation with him?
Yeah, I think one of the tests he was injured in Australia. I think the first test he had broken a finger, so he didn't play. Otherwise, he would have played. But you can look at it as a burden. You can look at it positively. That it could inspire him to do better. At the moment, from what we are looking, and be it in franchise cricket, you can see that he is relishing the role. This is obviously going to be a lot harder, but those are the challenges you face playing international cricket here. And he's been around now for what, 2 or 3 years in all formats really. So that experience, I'm sure he can fall back on, and there are guys around in the team. The coach is there to help him as well. So no, I think. I'm sure he's relishing the opportunity. I mean, who wouldn't want to captain India in Test cricket? So I'm sure he's looking at it positive with chats that I've had. And there will be pressure, there's no doubt. There won't be any going away from it. But hopefully that inspires him to do better.
Hello sir, 2 questions. Shreyas Iyer had a phenomenal one day also. And also the Shardul Thakur is picked more as a bowling all-rounder and Nitish Reddy more as a batting all-rounder in the team.
Shreyas Iyer had a good one-day series.
Champions Trophy overall.
Yeah,
he's
played well in domestic cricket as well. But at the moment, there's no room. I mean, if he keeps doing well, I'm sure he'll find a spot back in Test cricket at some stage. Shardul, yeah, he's a bowling all-rounder, obviously. With the way sometimes the team structured, the 11 structured, you need that seam bowling option who can bat a bit, and Nitish Reddy obviously showed what he can do with the bat. He's going on the A-team tour as well, so he'll get some bowling under his belt hopefully. But he's a young player who's obviously impressed with the bat and who can bowl. So if the conditions demand, again, it'll depend on what the team management thinks at that point. But yeah, he's a batting all-rounder at this point. Hopefully his bowling keeps coming on as well.
I think last two questions.
Just specific to playing conditions in England, like Shubman is a bit untested over there. So like there was a thought that this two are more important for him as a batsman. So just like what gave you that confidence that in terms of batting he will be sorted for?
I mean, just because he's a terrific player, he's played one test in England, so everyone's going to be tested in England. I don't think any batsman is going to feel at home like it was in Australia. I mean, these are tough places to tour. So, but we have the confidence that he's got the goods. And like I said, it's a massive transition. You know, Rohit's been around for a while now. Before that, Virat's been around. So it is a start of a new cycle, and the experience can only help. Whether it's a tough experience or we have a really good series, whichever way you look at it, it is going to be tough. That experience can only help going forward. And as far as his batting is concerned, I don't think, from our side at least, there's no real issues, and hopefully he can only do better as a captain.
One final question.
Ajit, was Rishabh one of the candidates he was looked at as a potential captaincy candidate looking ahead?
Yeah, I mean, he's the vice captain. He's been one of our best batters in Test cricket over the last 4 or 5 years, I think, or 40 odd Test, I think, at the moment. So
I never got one.
yeah, always, wicket keeper can see the game well behind the stumps. Has got the experience at the moment. That's why he's Shubman's deputy, who can help him out with all the experience that he's got, and he's an incredible player. So you're obviously looking at guys who can take the team forward over the next few years, and at the moment these two are the guys that we feel that can do that.
One last question.
Sudharsan, if you could talk about him, like he's done very well last couple of IPLs, but red ball record perhaps has not been that good as he's shown the kind of talent he's shown in IPL.
I mean, he's even last year when England Lions came, he played the 8 over. I watched it. I mean, he got runs there as well. So it's not like he's not got runs in red ball cricket. We've not picked him because of IPL. We've known he's a terrific red ball player. He's shown the right temperament and seems to have the game to succeed at the top level. I mean, once he plays, we'll probably get to know a bit better. But seems to have the goods. So I don't think his IPL performances have made us pick him for Test cricket. We've been looking at him for a while, at least since I've been here for a couple of years. But there's never been any place in the team to pick guys. And now that we've had this opportunity, certainly deserves it.